Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're going to let some folks come in first, and then before we get the party started, the chat is already popping. Once it's popping because I commented in the chat and I was supposed to be texting our amazing cast. But I see folks waving their hands. Can't wait to see the film from that chick Angel. Timothy, you've definitely been in some of our streaming meetups before, so thank you for coming back. Simone L is saying, hey, family. Kalisa saying, hey. Kia saying, hey. Coco Club, hey, y'all, hey. I love the vibes in here already. Everybody's already going up. I love it. Looking forward to this film. Oh, this is going to be a good time. I love when the crowd is already having fun. Folks coming in on time too. Got some hands from Jeanette. Hey, Amina. Big Glide said hello all. Happy Sunday from Trees. The chat popping, so I'm like, we don't even have to wait. We could just bring folks on in. Well, just to introduce myself, my name is Stephanye Watts. I'm the founder of the BeReelBlack Cinema Club. And we are a film club that operates both in Brooklyn and Philadelphia, where we have monthly meetups at screenings of independent Black films. We don't host them, but the point of our film club is to promote the screenings that are happening, to let folks know that Black film is alive and well in your city, in your town. Just sometimes you don't know where to find it. And so we're kind of building that bridge between Black community and these indie film houses that don't know necessarily how to find us, right? So we're connecting those dots. And I'm really, really excited to be back with family today. We haven't done a virtual screening in a very, very long time, but I'm so happy to be doing it with our peoples. Felicia Pride, the director of Look Back at It. I'm bringing you in. Hey.
I was just about, my mama's in the comments, so I was about to say shout out to my mama. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Stephanie, for hosting us again. This is super, super exciting. And thank everyone for showing up on this Sunday. We know you could be many places, but we're so grateful that you're here with us today.
And folks are dropping their cities. We got Atlanta in the building, Dallas. We got Philly. Oh, hey, Marlo here in Philly, too. We got Brooklyn in the building, New Jersey. Nisa's grandma is here. Shout out.
Grandma. Thank you, Angel. Yeah, it feels like family, which was like this production. So it's full circle right now.
I love it. Cincinnati. And just before we bring the rest of the cast in, I just want to kind of give some backstory to us. So we connected over your short film, Tender. And I was told about this film, I think like right before the big C word hit the world. And I was like, well, I got to figure out something to do. What can we do? I didn't know. I was still pretty new to film, doing this whole film club thing. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew I wanted to expose people to all these dope films that were out and about. And the big C hit the world. We had to go inside. And I was like, well, how do I have a film club that has a meetup at movie theaters when we can't go to the movies? Right. And so the opportunity came up to get on Zoom, real primitive, and screen Tender. And we had such a good time. We had a full room of folks.
It was amazing.
It was great.
Yeah, it was amazing. So, that particular film, we premiered like March 8th, so a week before the pandemic, and we had to do virtual film festivals. So, which actually was interesting because it allowed people had some time to watch the film, but to be able to connect with folks like yourself and be in community with all types of film festivals was amazing. So we're glad to be back with Look Back at It.
Yay!
And our amazing cast, which I realized that this is the first time all of the cast members have watched the film together. We have been in more than 30 film festivals, but because we are based in different places and very successful, very busy folks, we have not been able to be in one place. So this is history making right here, where we are all together, not only watching the film, but going to be in a discussion about it.
I love it. Well, without further ado, let's bring the cast on in. Angel Lakita Moore.
Hello.
Lisa Morris.
Yeah.
Hadia Robinson.
Yes.
Yes, but certainly not least, Natalie Carter.
Yes, Miss Natalie.
I am so excited to be talking to y'all today about this film. It's so many layers, and as a girl that's really close to my mom and extremely close to my grandma, this is a film that's really close to my heart. So, you know, I'm so ready to chat, cut up, have a good time. And just to say to all of you in our comments, y'all already know what to do because the comment section is popping. But please be sure to drop your questions in because y'all are not spectators. Y'all are a part of this conversation that we're having today. So please drop your questions in and we will try to get to everybody. The comment section is so popping, y'all.
I would say drop your comments while you're watching it. Like, let's live comment together. I would love to know thoughts as you're watching it.
And we're gonna talk about this a little later, but I do want to put it on the screen. Come on, multiple NAACP winner. Okay. Those are credentialed. Like,
come on. Amen. Amen and amen.
Listen, Honey Chile over everybody.
I'm going to be chatting too during the thing.
Oh, we love it. Okay, so it's going to be a lot of live chatting. So check that out. Very, very excited.
This is so fun, y'all. We even get started. The chat is just too fun right now. Well, listen, y'all are in here 127 strong already. Wow. You love to see Black folk on time and excited. So I think we can just get the film started. Like, we don't even got to wait for folks to come in because the people are ready. So without further ado, y'all, we are going to disappear from your screen. Our beautiful faces will be back right after, but please make sure again to live comment. Please laugh because I know y'all like in stitches as soon as the film starts. So we want to feel all your energy even as the film is going. Y'all ain't shy, so I don't even got to tell y'all that. All right, so we are transitioning now to the film. Thank y'all so much for just showing so much love already. Like, these are the type of things I love to do.
You can stay, but don't touch it. Bitch ain't gonna do nothing. New year, new bitch, new phone.
Fuck my nigga.
Get fresh, wish list, new caliber, I bust it. I ain't really trying to discuss it. You can stay, but don't touch it. Bitch ain't gonna do nothing. New year, new bitch, new phone. Who this? Offshore, new Swiss. Get fresh, wish list, new caliber, I bust it. I ain't really trying to discuss it. You can stay, but don't touch it. Bitch ain't gonna do nothing. Cheers to the old me getting through bullshit. Clico, no white clip. Throw it in the flute, let's sip that zoom past. Started ass anytime I look back. Hold up, give him y'all breather. I can knock you with the ether. Told him bring the wood cedar. Toss my salad like I got my wallet looking fat. In the foreign going fast. Yeah, glad I ain't take that one way. Bad bitch take off from me on the runway. Think I got these bitches mad. I do what they know they can't. Yeah, switch up the gears, head top tier, no chandelier. Put up a mirror. New year, new bitch, new phone. Who this? Offshore, new Swiss, get fresh, wish list, new caliber, I bust it. I ain't really trying to discuss it. You can stay, but don't touch it. Bitch ain't gonna do nothing. New year, new bitch, new phone. Who this? Offshore, new Swiss, get fresh, wish list, new caliber, I bust it. I ain't really trying to discuss it. You can stay, but don't touch it. Bitch ain't gonna do nothing. Got that wrist on freeze, keep it ball like Mr. Clean. Got the buzz, y'all mumble bees, hard to contact, clear to see. Please trick, I could take you out in a second. Don't make me violent, see sick. On my wave, go overboard, get off my island.
All right. Let's see some love in the comments, y'all. Let's see some love in the comments. Y'all were going off the entire time, so I know y'all about to be so fun to chat with. So we are going to bring Felicia and the cast on back so we can get this convo started because y'all ready to talk. Y'all got questions, comments, and concerns. Lord, they said I'm mad they don't make Mr. Johnny's no more. Ooh, y'all put a bad. Oh, I love it. Again, we are now 150 people strong. So thank you. Virtual screenings can be hard. Sundays can be hard, but y'all decided to pop out on us, and I cannot say thank you enough. How did it feel watching it together for the first time, y'all?
So good.
And to do it in community with the comments is everything.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Except I wanted to chat, and then it says join something, so I wouldn't touch anything because I didn't want to get knocked off. I just said, okay, I'm in. I don't want.
Not get me.
Oh,
Thank
Lord.
you. I was so nervous the first time I watched this film. And after, I was so nervous for people to see it. I was like, oh God. I thought everybody did amazing. And I was just like, I don't think I did great.
That is exactly how I was.
I was like, dear God, it
I'm
took
always
time.
curious about that. Like, I can't imagine as an actor watching myself, like, what is that like? What, I'm sorry, I'm just jumping in, Stephanie, with questions. But
no, it's a community combo. Go ahead, jump in.
But even watching this, do you remember when you watched this? I guess it must have been like February or January.
Yeah, it was February of 2023.
Yeah.
I don't know time no more, so yeah.
That's real.
You know what? This was usually I am in the best friend role, which Hadiyah murdered. And so I was just like, praise God that Felicia went with Hadiyah because this role would not have looked that good. I can tell you that right now.
Because when we hung out afterwards, after the screen, after the taping, and we went to the bar, I was like, yo, because your role is like serious, and I was just like, I thought she was real serious. A whole nut. We knew that the entire time we was hanging out. So that means multifaceted over there for real.
Thank you. But I think that was what was throwing me off because I've been so used to having to lean more on my comedic side. I didn't want to do that with Lene because I was just like, she's going through a lot. I mean, she's going through a whole lot. So I was like, I want to really ground her. So in my mind hadn't caught up. I was just like, girl, you didn't do nothing funny. You didn't do that. And so it took me a while for me to realize that wasn't my purpose in this film, but that's usually my purpose. So that's what I think took me the longest to like get comfortable with. You're not the punchline right now.
Yeah.
You're more of the heart than you are the punchline. That's what took me time.
And you were a huge beating heart for this film. Your performance was just so beautiful. And so, I didn't have to do much because this cast was so amazing, and just letting them do their thing and lean on their instincts and their craft it was just a joy to watch the work. To watch all of you work was amazing, and all of you all were prepared, but also eager and exciting and willing to experiment and play, especially on such a, it's interesting going through the film festival process. I realized that because it feels grounded, people don't realize this is absurd. Like, the idea is absurd. Like, it's meant to be what is the most extreme way we can show how daughters sometimes want more for their mothers, right? This is an extreme way to show that, but it feels incredibly grounded because we have these wonderful performances, but the premise is absolutely absurd. So to be able to have seen how you all were like down with the idea and saw the heart in it all, it was a blessing. I'm so grateful to have worked with all of you.
And so with that, Felicia, I would love to hear about why this story and why now, and the way it connects to the stories you all tell through Honey Chile with the podcast and all the things. How did the story come to be, and why did it feel like the right time to put it out now?
Yeah, because it's interesting because I actually wrote this feature, the full-length feature, before Tender. And it was inspired by, it used to be called the Alameda, something like the Alameda. But it was inspired by my mother, my sister, and my niece, and just the bonds between mothers and daughters, but also like some of the things that we pass down between mothers and daughters, and also the sacrifices and hard choices that mothers have to make, and that daughters see their mothers have to make. And then also wanting to do a film in Baltimore that represented what parts of Baltimore that I've seen and experienced, but have not seen necessarily on screen. But it was too big because it was a feature at the time. So, and I was like, I need to first get my feet wet. So that's why Tender came first. And also, you want to do right by your hometown. You want to do right by your family. So I had to be ready emotionally and from a craft standpoint. I couldn't show up just on some okie doke. I had to be ready. So I think that's why the timing was so right.
Yeah, and I love the focus on Baltimore. And it wasn't just like, you know how sometimes you'll see a film and they'll say it's set in this place, and you're like, but it kind of looks like it could be anywhere. But from the accents of the folks that were just walking around or folks in the background, from some of my favorite Baltimore songs, like when it opened up with Tear the Club Up, I was like, oh no, I'm in. But I tell y'all, like, my whole hairline be gone 30 seconds in. That is my song. Like,
that was the only song I scripted. That was my song coming of age, you know what I mean? So it was like, oh, for Angel's character, Lene, like this is what she would have been listening to, you know, growing up. So that's why I had to be in it. So shout out to DJ Class, who granted us the permission to use both of his songs in the film.
Indeed. And so I love that the film really embodied Baltimore. You know, like somebody that really lives there, not somebody that's kind of, I mean, The Wire did his thing, and I'm personally a corner girl. I love Charlotte Sutton's The Corner. But those are very specific stories about Baltimore, and I think it didn't really tell a story of someone that lives there would tell you about Baltimore. And I think that's what I love about look back at it is I feel like I'm listening to somebody that's from there telling the story. You know what I mean?
Had Angel, who was born in Baltimore. Miss Natalie, who I did not know was from Baltimore. That's why I guess I was so drawn to her. I should like do her audition. I was like, there's something about this woman I should have known. And then our DP, our cinematographer, Kirby Griffin. It was really important for us to have a Baltimore lens on the project. You know, that kitchen scene between Mama and Lene, Angel's character, he was like, this is my grandma's kitchen, and this is what it looks like at night. So to be able to know from a lighting perspective what it should look like, those types of details are really important.
For sure. And even like the small nuances in the script, like, oh, you know, I had to get some Royal Farms. If you're not from like the Maryland area, you're not going to know what Royal Farms is.
And our shout out to like Regina, our producer on the film, and who helped out, and Tony. This is their first time having Royal Farms, and they killed the chicken. They had Royal Farms like 3 a.m. in the morning.
Oh my God.
Royal Farms came to Jersey. It's like one in Jersey recently, I think like last summer. And me and Mom were going to Atlantic City to go to a concert. And I was like, I got to try this Royal Farms. Because I got a lot of friends in Baltimore, being from Philly. And so I was like, I've been hearing about this for forever. I got to try it. Yo, that chicken is hitting. Find your way. And reheating it in an air fryer brings new life to it.
Oh, wow.
I'm giving y'all tips today. Royal Farms hit. So I love it's like those small moments in films that I think really set it in the place that the film is in and makes it feel more authentic to the story, because it's not just like this kind of like weird anthropological look at a city or look at a town. It's like I feel like I'm literally sitting in the house. You know, you go to your grandma's house, that light in the stove is always on and never go out. But that also means that the night is over. Everybody go to their room. No, like I just felt like I was sitting in the home. And so I think y'all really were, the intentionality around embedding Baltimore into the script was really just bar none. I loved it. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Sorry, was someone about to say something? Oh, okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is kind of the intergenerational portion of the film. So you were saying it was modeled after your mom, your sister, and your niece. And I grew up, my pop was my dog, love him. That's forever my bestie. But it's nothing like hanging out with your mom and your grandma. Like that's just a dynamic that like you can't describe that. So I love that we're able to see a young woman and 2 grown women in these different stages in their life and how they all kind of bleed into each other. And I really love a specific moment when the comment was, I'll try if you try. And it's that moment when you're becoming a teenager and you start kind of seeing your mom, not necessarily as an equal, but
as a person,
a friend.
As a person.
I would love to talk about that moment and why you brought that into the film, that particular moment.
That's actually the premise of the feature, is that they make a pact. So I had to have some sort of line that hearken to the premise of the feature, is that they make a pact to step out there, to put themselves out there. And I think it's that point where you realize that your mother's a person. with desires and needs, and sometimes she pushes those desires and needs to the background for you, for other people. So that's definitely a nugget of the film for sure.
Also, I feel like the way, first of all, Nisa was just so amazing in the film.
Yes,
So
yes,
great
Stop it.
to
yes.
play against. You know, she obviously she looks like a baby, but she has such a grounded maturity to her, and I think that's real for a lot of us, especially women. You know, or just young girls in general. A lot of us do mature wisdom wise a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And the fact that once she has this desire to see her mother live a better life, even though it might be crossing the bounds of things that might be appropriate for her to talk to her mother about, and also knowing that like she knows that her mom's desire for her to be better is enough to like be able to put that on the table. Okay, if you want me to be better, then you're gonna have to be better.
Right.
And the way Nisa played it too was just, you know, it wasn't no sass. It was just like, then let's be 100% real. You want me to do something? Well, then you're gonna have to do this for me. So I thought it was, I thought the way our relationship unfolded, especially in that moment, was just beautiful, because it is that like transition of she's a niece. Nisa's about to be 18. She is about to be technically an adult, and feeling comfortable to have those conversations with her mom.
Can you two talk? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nisa.
No, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as part of, can you just talk about how y'all got there from, you know, not knowing each other at all to feel so real and mother and daughter, and like what that process was like?
I don't think there was like a legit like we hung out type of thing. It was just we met that first day and we all felt the vibe as like these are my people. And it was like just it was so easy to work with each and every one of y'all, and to see you as my mom was so natural for me. And then I related to the story so much. It was easy to be myself basically, and just unveiling myself with you was just I felt comfortable and safe in that moment. So it was Angel's bestie now. So
And I'm always somebody's mama. Listen, I got 4 kids. So if you're younger than me, you about to be my child anyway. And luckily with Natalie and I, it was very easy for me to make her and our relationship reflect me and my mother's. Where I still respect my mama, but sometimes I feel like I got to parent my mama. It's just like, what did you do? Why did you do this? Don't mess this up for me. So it was a very easy, like, oh, Miss Natalie, you my mama. And it didn't matter if Nisa was my child or not, because she was in her 20s, you my child.
And they kept saying that on set, and I said, but guys, it's okay, I'm an adult. And they said, no.
You had many aunties on set for sure.
And I would just like to add, Nisa is definitely beyond her years, because when we would ride together, she would make sure I was okay. And I was like, wow, this woman is incredible. She's taking care of me. I had to tell her mama, boy, you really raised a beautiful daughter, because you were all that. You were all that.
Thank you.
Instead of me taking care of you, you were like, are you okay? Should I take that? No, you were really everybody. That's what made it easy to do this project, because everybody was so beautiful. Everybody so giving. Everybody so gracious. And we all love to laugh. And Hadia had me laughing every second, every single second.
Literally.
I mean, come on now. And my favorite scene was with you, Angel, in that kitchen. That was deep. And it still touches me, because I really felt like you were my daughter, and I really want you to be all right and not to
Can you talk a little bit more about that, like how you prepared for the mother? I'm sorry, I'm just curious too, because I haven't been able to ask questions.
We just talking. It's good.
I haven't been able to ask these questions, but like how you prepared for the role, and this is a different kind of mama, you know. So
that she's so sassy. Well, you know, really, it wasn't deep and it wasn't hard. I just accepted that I'm the matriarch.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a husband. I've had, I've done everything pretty much that I desire to do. And now it's about my children. It's about my daughter and it's about my granddaughter. And I actually have a granddaughter. So that part, just nurturing and just being free. I mean, just being sassy. I like that. I embrace that because, y'all got to figure it out because Mama, she's been there and done that. So, yeah, but it was actually, Felicia, the writing. It's you writing. You just like put it in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we just lived it. I don't know if it's because I'm from Baltimore. It was just the way you wrote, the way it was written.
Mm-hmm.
It was so easy to speak. It was so easy to embrace the character. It was just that way. So it's the writing. I say it's the writing, and these beautiful actresses. So it was easy. It was easy to give.
Thank you.
I'm curious as to how Hadia prepared for this role.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Hadia next because Angel, you were talking about like playing the friend and like the friend role, but I think Hadia in the film, it didn't feel like you were just a friend on the side. For me, it gave like your friend is like your sister. Like, you know what I mean? It's like y'all grew up together. You grew up in that house as much as Angel's character grew up in the house. You know what I mean? It felt more, it didn't feel like an aside at all. And this again speaks to Felicia's writing. You know, like you were as much as that family as everyone else. And so I would love to hear from you just to talk about playing a character like that, because it wasn't the sidekick for me when I watched the film at all.
Oh, you know what? I feel like I think the stage the stage was set when we first got there. I felt like when we walked in that house, even for rehearsal, I felt that energy in that house. It felt like a house that had love in it already. It was coming through the wall. So it was not hard. When Felicia first told me about the project, I was immediately like, oh my God, this character is hilarious. And I feel like, yeah, that's the exact homegirl I will be. Yeah, girl, go get a prostitute. Like, and I'm gonna help you find them. Like, that's just kind of who I am as a person. But I felt like the character really just spoke to me because it felt like something how I relate to people and how I relate to the friends in my life. And so to be there and even watching them perform their scenes, it really just helped me kind of like embrace where we were and the moment that we were in, because everybody did such an amazing job. Everybody made it so easy. It was like I was excited when it was time for me to do a scene.
And I just have to say, Hadia is one of my good friends, and she helped to punch up this script. And in that punch up process, I was like, Hadia should play Christina. Like, yeah, that just made sense, and she was so perfect for it. And so I'm grateful.
Yes, it was a good time. It was absolutely a good time.
And it felt like that. Like there were moments when, throughout the film, and even rewatching it again for the zillionth time, I'm like, was this scripted? Because it just felt like it felt like a documentary sometimes. You know what I mean? Because of just how real the conversations were. Like I was seeing even in the comments, I think it might have been Marla that was like, take me out the group chat. This felt like the group chat, because it just felt, I don't know, sometimes with films, it's a film, it's a script, what's going to come next. But I didn't know what was going to come out Mama's mouth at any point. You know what I'm saying? So it just felt so authentic that it just felt like y'all were just riffing and having a good time, and you can feel the kind of bond that you all created on the set to give such a realistic story. And also back to Mama, Miss Natalie, you had me cracking up because one thing my friends always laugh about is how grandmamas and OG mamas ain't never single. They always got a little dip somewhere. Always. 50th class reunion, they popping out, okay? And so even that was hilarious because like one of my really good friends, we always talk about her grandma, how fly her grandma was. And she had these boyfriends that were fab. And we were like, man, we can't wait to be like her. She got this boyfriend taking her to galas and all of this, you know? And so I really love that too because grandmas ain't out here being like, back in the day, grandmas that just sat in their house coat and watched their stories. You know, grandmas was getting their life.
Yeah, and I think that's also too, like for Honey Child in particular, how do we show the fullness of Black women's lives and how, you know, the different ways that we show up in the world and showing new ways that we have not seen on screen necessarily. So that I think that's also important, you know, for us to showcase for sure.
I felt it was, if I could just add, it was liberating for me because I've never had an opportunity to just play a Black woman with, you know, a Black family and I just haven't written by a Black woman. So that was really big. And it just gave me so much relief just to be able to say lines that somebody would really say, you know, in the culture. So I think that spoke to a lot of people. And when Stephanye, when you were saying, you know, the whole thing about Baltimore, people want to sometimes see something that they can really connect to. And people connected to this like fire. It was so real. That's what I want to say. It was so real, and I really enjoyed playing that part.
I'm curious. Sorry, I'm jumping. I'm sorry. I love it. Particularly Angel, what have been the reception to like from your family, but also from like friends to your role to the film? I'm curious on that.
Everyone has loved it. The biggest reception is where is more? Where we want more of it. That has been the overall resounding thing about this whole entire it's just like you gave people just enough to whet their appetite and they're like, where's the rest of it? Because again, this is such a real story. One, you showed Baltimore in a way that is not really given, it is not shown light on. If it ain't about crack and people getting shot up, people don't, or corrupt police, we ain't seeing anything about it. Where it's just like people are living, you know what I'm saying? People have families. Like that's what, when I think of Baltimore, I think of my family. And then you have these really like heartfelt moments, and then you get slapped in the face with something extremely funny. Even how the film begins, you're like, oh, you're seeing this tender Black love moment. Oh no, she is a mistress and she didn't even know it. And now she's an old ass librarian who needs to find another driver. You know what I'm saying? And we just thought, you know, it's just so beautiful how you keep taking us on these turns. You got this mother, the mother of the main character, who's given these beautiful, deep felt advice while also trying to sleep her way through getting her stove fixed. Like it's all these like juxtapositions and nuances that I think is what draws people in, because you're just like, what else could happen with this family? So for me, it was definitely, for a lot of people, their first time really getting to see me in something that, you know, was like heartfelt. And people were like, oh, I like this on you. And I was like, I mean, I do too. It's just not, the opportunities are not, you know, abundant. They're like, if you can tell a joke, then get your ass over there and tell a joke. We got other people who can cry. You go tell the joke. So I think for the role specifically, I think for most people, they were like, oh, this is a nice color on you. Like, this is really nice to see. So mainly people want more.
Yes.
This is meant to be a proof of concept for a feature film. You know, the goal was to whet the appetite so we can get some money. But I just want to talk a little bit about what you're saying, Angel, because, you know, us working in Hollywood, we see the lack of roles and the challenge it is. It's not for lack of material necessarily, right? It's lack of material that get to the people, right? There's so many gatekeepers in the middle of it. So, always trying to think about, and that's why it's so beautiful that so many people have shown up, because this type of support not only means something from a practical standpoint, but also encourages us to say, yes, there is an audience for the work that we are making. And there is also a drive for us to try to create more material, longer material for the Angels, the Natalies, the Hadias, the Nisas of the world. So thank you for sharing that, because that's real.
Indeed. Well, our next question is actually going to be from the audience, and it was actually going to be my question. I was want to share really briefly my experience. The first seeing the film was at Black Star, and I know we're doing a virtual screening today, and people love watching streaming at home, but there's nothing like being in the theater with other people, having a communal experience around a film. And let me tell you, hollering the entire film, like the theater was losing it. And it's moments like that where I'm like, I will never stop going into a movie theater, ever. So I'm going to move on to Marla's question. What impact has the festival circuit brought to look back at it?
Do you remember our first screening, Angel? The first one that was with a crowd at Plan A Film Festival, which was amazing. Festival at the Wacko Theater. Those Black women in that theater, I was like, oh, wait, that's something. You know what I mean? Because it's like we had only watched it kind of in a bubble. We had some friends and family come and be kind. But when those Black women were laughing in that audience, I was like, oh, we got
it. Was astounding. It was crazy. That was the film festival that the film won.
Yes.
And, Tina knows Beyonce's mama.
Yes.
Gave us a check for some money. But I agree. That was when I was just like, oh my, I had been watching it from, I'm an actress and I don't want people to think I did a bad job. I hadn't had a chance. That was my first time having a chance to watch it from just as an audience, like participant. And I was like, oh my God, like you said, this is absurd. This is absurd and hilarious. And I was mad because they were laughing so hard at Hadia. They were missing some of the
jokes.
They were. I wanted to be like, "Shut up!" She said something else right there that was funny too. Yes. But that's how hard and loud they were laughing. Yeah. It was crazy.
I was shocked. Like, I think both of us were just like stunned.
But I wanted to add one thing at this women's film festival, the screening here in New York. The only Black people in the audience was me, my sister, my husband, and 2 girlfriends, and then one other couple. The rest were white. They went crazy. They went crazy laughing. So it crosses the cultural line. I mean, funny is funny. Okay. And it's funny. I was like, and also where they placed the film, because a lot of the films were deep and heavy topics, and every time look back at it, because I went to about 4 or 5 screenings, and every time look back at it came on, it was like the audience needed the release to just laugh and out loud, just laughing. So
that's such a good point. Like, I do feel like a lot of the festivals we played in, the topics are heavy, and it's because there's a lot of heavy things going on in the world. But I think that sometimes there's more credence put towards films that talk about issues. But I think that joy, I think that sexuality, I think that family, I think that community are equally as important because they feed into issues. So to be embraced by film festivals that also known for very serious, heavy topics, and to be programmed in that way was also really eye-opening. So the circuit was amazing. I was able to travel to. Nisa was representing, honey. Nisa was at the festivals representing the film
Yes.
So
I know
grateful.
the one I went to, we ended up winning like 3-4 awards, and I was just like, I was in tears, and I didn't like write or direct the film, but I was like, oh my god, we did it, y'all, and y'all weren't there, but I was saying it out loud like y'all was there. I was like, we did it, oh my god, and it was great, and I it was amazing. All of the shows were amazing, but that one had me just bawling my eyes out. And like you said, people were just laughing. I was just sitting there like this, and everyone was just laughing, and I was like, and just like you said, Angela, I was like, y'all, you got to be quiet for the next joke. Wait.
They were missing jokes because Hadia slice you real quick, and you would be like,
She fast.
She's so fast.
She
So fast. That daggone couch scene, I was just like, I could not stand her because I'm over here trying to be mad at this. I'm trying to be mad, and she just keeps saying more and more stupid stuff. And I was just like,
after we cut, you turned to her and was just like, "Did you just say that?"
I remember one time you called him a physical therapist.
I was like, she must be stopped. I'm gonna get through this scene.
And I think, you and I went to the diversity in film festival. And the thing I will say about the film festival circuit too is that, like, as sometimes a filmmaker, people are like, when is the film finished? And it's like, when I can watch it and not cringe, because I know I'm going to have to watch it a million times. In this film, every time I'm laughing, every time it feels good. And it's like, this is from an audience perspective for me. I'm able to take off. I can see the film as a fan now. And I'm just like, wow, like what beautiful work after seeing this film a million times. And then for us, like the practical standpoint is we've proven that audiences like this film in a swath of audiences, right? So that's what the film festival circuit has helped us with. But then it's also something about the encouragement when you watch it in community to keep going. Because in Hollywood, a lot of times your shit is not, your stuff is not made. In Hollywood, that's a dirty little secret. Your stuff is not made. So to be able to make something in community with beautiful artists, and then to be in community with the people you made it for, that is that encouragement to keep going, to keep writing, to keep directing, to keep acting, to keep telling the stories. So that's what we got from the film festival. That was a long answer, Marla, but that's what we got.
No, it was good, and I kind of want to go really quickly before we go to our next question from the audience from about the levity of the film and why it's connecting with people. Because like with Film Club, I see a lot of movies every month, either by myself or with Film Club members, right? And everything these days just feels so heavy, so heady. You gotta use your brain. You gotta take notes sometimes so you can go home and do your homework on what they were talking about in the film. And it's like, sometimes you just want to laugh. I don't want to do all that. You know what I mean? I don't feel like doing all that. Like last week, I went to Philly Film Society, and there was a screening of Two Can Play That Game, and it was like a girls' night, and we were just all in the theater, falling out. Women don't even know each other. But I was like, dang, I haven't done this in a long time. Just sitting in a movie and just laughing, So I think that hopefully, I'm hoping that the success of Look Back at It will bring some more funny films back into the theater. Folks want to laugh. Like, the last few years have been hard. They've been rough.
Well, Hadia is not just an amazing comedian. She's also a fantastic comedy writer. So I would love Hadia to talk about, like, she is amazing. Some of the funniest. We worked on a feature film group together, and she was workshopping her feature. We were all workshopping features. She has an amazing funny feature. But just like Hadia, you talking to that point of like the need for funny shit, like what comedy does, and yeah.
I mean, well, doing stand-up, people always say, stand-up is medicine, and just comedy in general is medicine. It's like, yes, the world is heavy. We're living in the heaviness. So I don't need you to put the heaviness on screen. So as a form of entertainment, that's not entertainment. I think, a lot of times we're served trauma and a lot of just hard stories. Like, we're supposed to be excited about it, but to what I believe you said, Felicia, we're living our actual lives. We're going to the club. We meeting up with our homegirls. We eat Royal Farms. You know what I mean? Mr. Johnny is coming to fix the oven. We are living regular lives and trying to get by and find joy in those lives. So that's something that I'm always trying to do with my writing, is connected to our actual lives, not the lives that they are telling us we're living, but our true and actual lives. And I think that's the thing that people connect with this film, is because I am the best friend. You know what I'm saying? And everybody has had some kind of conversation with their mama and their cousin and their little cousin and their big cousin. Like, that is what people connect to in this film. And I think that's what people need. And, I think it's important for us, regardless of what the gatekeepers are doing, we got to continue to push that out for people, because audiences want it.
Because people think a funny film or a light film or a bestie film is like silly and childish, but I know, at least for the Black films, there's still so many layers in there. Like, the things we were able to pull out of this conversation today were serious, right? And there are some serious things that are happening in this film, but we can still laugh about it. It doesn't take away the artistic quality of the film,
I mean, I gotta tell you, the amount of times that I scroll on my Instagram and I see one of Angel's videos and it brings so much joy. I mean, the amount of joy that I get from the challenges. Challenges are probably my favorite. And I think that I think there's a couple of things. I think there's humanity in Black humor, right? Mm-hmm. I think that folks don't want to see that type of humanity all the time. You know what I mean? Especially when it's our own comedy. Mm-hmm. And I also think there's just a lot of humanity in the everyday, the day to day. And if you look at like television shows, I was having this conversation with some gatekeepers recently. Like, Black people aren't afforded often just to live regular ass lives on TV. We gotta have propulsion, a murder. It's gotta be something. We can't just be navel gazing like our white counterparts do. So we can't have a series about divorce. You know what I mean? We can't have a series about the long lost love who comes back and we do flashbacks about the love. Like, it's so these are our ways of trying to bring that to the screen. So yeah.
I can always tell when a role was written for. I've recently auditioned for a role. It was a lead role, and I was reading it. I loved it, and I said, "Oh, this wasn't written for a Black woman." And the reason why I knew is because she was just going through regular life stuff. Like, okay, how can I get done with this and get over to my daughter's recital? And I told my husband, I was like, "Wait, there's not some like extreme depressing." point of view. I mean, and then they end up hiring a white woman. So I knew that is just, there's something about, like Felicia was saying, the way they want us to be portrayed in their way to see it as authentic is for it to be something so devastating that, like, there's just, what is the silver lining? It's maybe an old school hymnal. I don't know, an old school Negro spiritual. And it's like, sometimes can I just live regular life? Can it just be a problem of, shoot, I forgot to put gas in the car? As a matter of fact, I'm just one little, I don't know if I told you this or not, Felicia. During the pandemic, I used to do a Facebook Live every morning. And one morning I started a series because my stove, I had a gas stove. And you know how it goes when it's trying to light?
Yeah.
It was struggling. And I was like, oh, this feels like the beginning of a film. Of lighting the stove. I was like, where it's like a Black mom. Where she's just, I was like, because there's something about the stove not working that tells you that there is there's just some trials. So literally, I don't know if I told you when we were filming that in the scene that I did with Natalie. It took me right there of just like,
so much. I love that so much.
It's like, it's metaphoric. It's something about that stove, that oven not working. It's just like, man, if I could just get this right, if I could get over this hump, things will be all right on the other side. But anyways, yeah, that's why I love this film, is that even though it's definitely Black women, we're in Baltimore, there's still, our Blackness was not the thing that it felt like it had to be the first, we're Black. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was life. I love it.
Say that, like, in the work, racial trauma, because I'm not one of those like can't be any trauma, because divorce is traumatic. Definitely traumatic. Having a major surgery like in Tender is traumatic, right? But racial trauma does not have to be a character. It
Right.
can be context, but it doesn't have to be a character. And I find that a lot of times racial trauma is the character, it's the world, it's the theme. It's like, Jesus, like, can we get a break? Like, and we know how it is in our regular lives of where racial trauma plays in our life. And it ain't that.
I'm gonna step off my soapbox. I want to say one quick thing. We can go to the next question. Is to your point, Felicia. I always say to my friends, I'm like, I'm tired of the films that are like talking about being black. I just want to watch a film where they're just being black.
Yes.
It's more fun to just be black than talk about it.
That's the thing. When I feel that way, I'm like, oh, this isn't for us. Because we don't need explanations on what it is to be black. You know what I mean? We need fully realized experiences of blackness, but we don't need explanations on it. And that's when I know it's not for us.
So Linnea, sorry, we really went a little off, but I'm coming back to the questions, y'all. So please keep putting your questions in. Sorry. Linnea asked to Felicia, have you gotten to screen the film for Mayor Scott or other Black Maryland leaders?
No, but we are announcing some really exciting news this week about the Black film community in Baltimore. And also the Black film community in Baltimore is really invested in helping us to make this feature. So that could be on the list. Thank you for that question.
And I'm sure they will love it. Let's see some other questions. Everybody just in the comments just loving on y'all. Like, this is a love fest for real. I love it so much. Folks just commenting. So if anybody has any final questions,
I do.
This is a good one. Hold on, this is a good one. Street said, "Is the Honey Chile Fest happening annually now, and how can I be down?"
I get tired when I think it was such a wonderful event. Honey Chile Fest was our first event in Baltimore. Where we co-created it with Nia Hampson, the Black Femme Supremacy Film Festival, who was an amazing Baltimore-based film festival. We did it at the Enoch Pratt Free Library downtown, the Central Library, and it was our first, because the Maryland Film Festival did not happen last year, so it was our first and only screening in Baltimore, and we wanted to make it special. So in addition to having a screening and look back at it and having our DP there and Miss Natalie there and Nisa was there, we also had our first live edition of the Child Peace podcast, which is me and Angel were nominated in the same category. We both lost.
We did, but
we're nominated with Obama, okay? And then we also were able to screen other filmmakers' work. It was a lot of work. So I can't even think about it right now, but the hope is for it to be annual. Yes.
I do want to say that festival was on such a level. It was well attended, and everybody, all of the people who came that I knew, they had never experienced anything like that. The live podcast with you and the other women's films and the talk, the questioning, and it was so exciting. It was everything to me, y'all, because that was the first time I was able to invite childhood friends to come and see my work, and they came. And I don't know, Felicia, that thing, I could cry because that thing was so special to be from Baltimore, for the film to have been filmed in Baltimore, and then for you to put on that film festival. You reached a lot of people, and I know it was a lot of work, but God, did I appreciate the effort.
But it was beautiful because we did have intergenerational honey. So we call honeys our audience, Black women over 40. That's what Honey Chile's about. So we had 70-year-old honeys who were basically asking, like, have I had an escort? Like, they wanted the details, honey. I was like, Nana, I'm not going to answer this on stage, but we could talk later. But so it was I love the receptive. There was such an openness to the film across ages, which was amazing. But I do want to shout out really quickly. My mama is in here. Miss Bridget, Nisa's mama, is in here. And my mama was our location manager. My cousin plays Aaron, who plays the husband, Dante. Angel's date in the beginning. Those women walking down are cousins. My niece was a PA. My homeboy was a PA. We filmed it in my aunt's house. So it was absolutely, my homegirl did hair. It was absolutely a family affair. And that's also what made it doubly special.
And you can feel that, right? And I think the response from audiences, because we felt that it was a family affair. We felt like there was love in the room. We felt like everyone that participated really like gave their all, and not because it's the next job, but because they believed in the story that y'all were telling, you know? And as an audience member, you can always feel that. You can always tell that the authenticity is clear. You know what I mean? If you're really paying attention. Man, I can just keep going because I really love this film. Like,
question, Angel?
There's so much power in short. I swear.
I have two questions.
Angel has questions.
Okay, one is, how can we support this short film and helping it get to the stage that you see it going?
Yes, thank you.
And two, how can I be a guest on Child Please podcast? Because I think so I'm in the demographic.
You was about to get an email, honey. Like literally this next week. I don't know if Georgia email. So that is already in motion.
Okay. I was like, I don't know. I thought, because I knew the creator of it, that maybe I would say, let me just put my request out there
in front of everybody.
Yeah, because I would be like, it's harder for her to say no in front of everybody versus
yeah. No, that is in motion. Thank you for that first question. Well, one, the film, we released it online. And so we would really love as many people to watch it on YouTube as possible. I will drop the link in the comments for you to share that link around, to share the film. That's really what's important, because I always like, numbers are always a good thing to show people, right? Like, look at how many people have watched this film. Look at how many people are invested in this film. We have other metrics, which are great, of course, in terms of our film festivals, our awards, and all of that. But the viewership is important. So that's great. And then also, we are moving to the stages where we're going to start looking for financing for the future. So people who got money, if you got money, or people that got money, email me, be in touch. We want to get this done, and we want to get it done in a way where we're not held up by Hollywood. And we also are not having to alter our story to make Hollywood feel comfortable. So we really feel like we're going to have to do it within people who get it and want to see us make it. So those will probably be the two top ways. And then I would say to continue to support artists. We have 4 amazing artists on here, and we'll of course say how you can continue to support us, but support the work. I think that's one of the big things to watch, to share. What you all are doing is really, really important and valuable. So thank you for that.
And so we don't have any more questions in the Love Fest. I would like to just go through the rest of the cast and just hear what's next for you, what you have coming up that we can support, and where we can follow you. Oh, look, folks trying to get up in the feature, y'all. Oh, y'all play too much. Oh my gosh. Yes. So what is next for all of you? How can we support you? And what are your socials so folks can follow and be abreast of all the great things that are coming down the pipe for y'all?
Lord,
what's funny is all y'all are everyone's screens are different, so y'all are all pointing at like this.
They need to know I'm pointing around Felicia up to her.
I knew she was pointing at me. I was pointing right over at both of them.
Nisa.
So, hi, Nisa Morris. I play Kima. The way that you guys can support me and stay in touch would be following me on all my social media platforms. I am NisaMorris.actor on Instagram and pretty sure it's what's it called? X, not Twitter, X. And then I do have a TikTok as well, love_Nisa. I just want to say thank you for everyone watching, all my family members and friends, and my agents for coming. Thank you guys for watching. On to you, Angel.
Okay, all right. Next up for me, I'm going back in the studio. I'm putting out an EP. Since Honey Child, somehow I became a part rapper. And what I love, I think it follows, I said since Honey Child, since look back at it, what kind of follows the motto of Honey Child Productions is life after 40. And so I'm exploring. Listen, I was like, well, you know what? We're gonna put out some music then. Since y'all, if y'all like some fun music, y'all like to shake your ass, I can make sure you have both of those.
I love that, honey.
Thank you. So I go back into the studio to on Thursday to finish recording my songs and then hopefully touring with that afterwards. I just finished touring. So, just working to feed these kids and podcasting and all that good stuff. You can follow me at That Chick Angel pretty much across all platforms or just Google it and you'll find me somewhere. But or doing stupid challenges with my husband online. Just to bring.
I'm obsessed with, honey. I watch every single. I'm so obsessed.
Thank you so much.
I love this comment. I follow Angel already. She might as well be my auntie at this point.
That's right, niece. That's right.
Is it me? Yep. Thank you so much again, Natalie Carter. Look, I got to tell y'all something incredible. At the film festival in Baltimore, I met this incredible graphic designer, and I had been wanting to really get my website done. Well, digital presence. And I met this young man, and Felicia, I thought he was like one of the camera operators because his name is Q Rock. He's short, but I thought he worked on the set. And so I spoke to him and as if I knew him. And then at the club afterwards, he started telling me, he was a graphic designer and Rashida, right, who did our hair. Long and short, he teaches Black entrepreneurs how to build their own websites.
Nice.
And Rashida was one of the people he assisted. And another lady.
Cute. Yes.
Well, honey, didn't I get Q to do my website?
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't cheap. But am I happy? Yeah. I am so.
What's the link? We're gonna put it in the chat. What's the link?
NatalieCarter.com.
NatalieCarter.com. You heard it here first, folks.
And then the other stuff. But I mean, it was trusting him because he was, I didn't know him, but it was something that I had been wanting to do for the longest time. Yeah. And he was so good. I mean, that's another good thing that came out of doing this film. I finally got someone to do my website. And and I'm Natalie Carter NY on Instagram. And I'm Natalie Carter Prince on Facebook. But I mean, just if you can click every now and then and like something, that's how you support me. Just send me good vibes and love, and that's supporting me as well.
I love that.
Y'all, why did I forget to say what's up next for me?
Come on now.
Lisa could put the talking points. Give us the talking points.
I'm actively auditioning and I am writing and creating content, and I am very happy about what I'm doing, and hopefully you guys can see it soon. Once again, thank you, Smith Young Talent, for what you're doing for me. Thank you, Felicia.
I love that for you. I do.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna be going in the studio with Angel, doing all original beatboxing.
And don't be mad when I call you and be like, Hadia, we're here. Where are you?
New phone, I'm sorry.
We need to all just go in the studio. We all just hop in the studio together.
I would like that. I would
like we did on set.
I would like that. I would love that.
Look,
I'm in.
like, I'm not playing either.
I'm in.
Look, I just need Miss Natalie. I just want Miss Natalie to say, "You ain't gonna have to pay for that oven." That is the line for me. I am currently writing on a TV show, Twisted Metal. In May, the month of May, I'll be going to New York and doing some stand-up shows. So if you will be in New York in May or June, come out. And you can find me on my website, hrcomedy.com, and that'll list all upcoming shows and stuff. So, but that'll be coming up in May.
Lovely. I just want to say real quick, thank you so much, Stephanye, for hosting us. This was amazing. You jumped in, was like, and down, and we appreciate that so much. Thank you, everyone who has shown up. This love is amazing, and I'm telling you, it's fortifying. Like, your presence is fortifying, so we appreciate that. I want to say, Nisa, thank you so much I remember Nisa's audition. At the end, you talked about like how you related to the character, and I just love how you just was so willing and open, and just was so perfect, so pitch perfect in how we envisioned this character. So thank you so much. Hadia, I know you ain't want to do it at first. I had to corral you, but you are a singular talent. And I am so grateful for your friendship, but also your mind. You are so creative. You are so funny. You are so smart. And what you brought to this project made it better, period. Natalie, you are a force. You are a presence. I am so grateful and you've been so warm and have shown up everywhere and comment on everything and tell us how proud you are of us and send us beautiful text messages. Your spirit is I've never seen anyone so kind and so warm and so loving. And then to bring your years of craft to our project, you ain't know us. You could have been like, no, but you brought your craft and your wisdom to our project. That's amazing. And then Angel, to have trusted me with this project in this role. I know you're like, who is this girl trying to do this story? But you trusted us and you brought just such, I always say, like, it comes from, we feel the number one, as they call it, the number one call sheet. Like, we feel that presence, and you brought that tone and you brought that professionalism, but also just the love and the heart. And you took a chance. When I called you, it was like, do you want to do this role? You were like, yes. And you worked. I feel very, very grateful for you taking a chance on this project. But not only do you taking a chance, you showing up so fully, so wonderfully, so beautifully. Thank you. Thank y'all. This project is so special to me because of all the people who worked on it, because it's been percolating for so long. So to see it out in the world with real craftspeople and real Black women who like just got it, it means the world. And this project really also represents my voice in a way that no other work ever has. And also represents the ethos of Honey Chile in the way that we really want to show up in the world. So Honey Chile is doing tons of things. It just was announced that we are adapting 7 Days in June, Tia Williams' 7 Days in June for Amazon alongside our partners, Will Packer and Kinetic. We have projects set up at CBS Studios, at Lifetime. I'm currently a writer, supervising producer on Bel Air, but we want to make more stuff. So that's what Honey Chile is focused on. We have a sister brand called The Create Daily, where we encourage and help storytellers to make stuff, to thrive creatively. So you can always check us out at thecreatedaily.com as well. We just launched a new podcast called The Creative Cut Up, where we talk about the business in a real way with 2 other Black women, Drea Rowland, who's also works at Honey Chile, and Georgia.
Thank you, Drea.
Hey, Drea.
Hey, Drea. This was Drea's idea, actually. She put this event, organized this event. So thank you. I was surrounded by Black women geniuses. I'm so grateful. And I just want to thank my family too for all of their support.
This was a great, amazing night, y'all. Like, I don't know. I feel like I've been like smiling for the last like hour and some change. And this is what film does, right? Like, it helps us connect to each other. It helps us build community with each other. And I'm just grateful that y'all invited me and all of the folks that are in the comments into y'all living room, into y'all kitchen with the broke oven. We appreciate y'all so much for the warm welcome and for just being so open and giving us something to really hold on to. I think so, the world moves so fast and media moves so fast that you'll see a movie, you'll never think about it again, or you'll hear a song and never hear it again. But, look back at it as something that we can just continue to hold on to. We can share amongst our family members. I know some might be a little too much for grandma, but, throw it over real quick at Thanksgiving. But I just really, really, really appreciate you all. And to everybody in the audience, thank you again for coming out and showing so much love. Like, y'all still cutting up in the comments. And we trying to wrap up. And I love it. I love it so much. And we just hope to see that the love y'all are showing in this screening just goes on into the future and all the projects that everyone is doing. And I'm just ready for whatever y'all got going on next. I know BeReelBlack Cinema Club going to be there either way. We promoted every screening that Look Back at It has had, and I'm just excited just to be like in the kitchen. Y'all are amazing. Felicia, thank you so much for taking a chance on me way back in the days and trusting me to lead this conversation. And that's all I got. I might even go and cry, y'all. This was so good. I didn't even cry, but this was just such a good conversation. I just really appreciate y'all tonight.
My face hurts. I'm just like here.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Felicia, for trusting us with your baby. You were
thank you.
Great.
I love you guys so much. I miss you all.
I know. I feel like this is 360. We back together again. Like after the film was on the circuit for a whole year, an entire year. So wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, enjoy the rest of your Sundays.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angel.